Okay, so let's see. We got the windows. We got the view out the windows. My favorite building. All right. We've got the, so this is the door.
That's the door, but that's the door to the room. You can't open that door.
Oh, well, what if there's a fire?
That's why you have the latch inside. So you have to respect.
So in other words, if there's a
If
fire.
there is a fire, you open the latch and you open. Other than that, you're not to touch this at any time. It's supposed to be locked at all times.
So in other words.
Same thing with them. He has to respect your space. Why are we filming this?
Because I want to see the room so that I can look it over and confer with my friends and my mom and people like that. Do you think this is a good room? Do you think this is a good deal? What are you charging? What rent are you asking?
The same as we were downstairs.
$600 a month for a smaller room. While I'm waiting for my room to be fixed?
Okay. You got it at 5:45. He's going to be here to lock the door. Okay.
Okay. So, and you've gotten this, you went and filed the papers to get it out of the vacate order?
If you want to talk to me, you put that away and you turn it off. I don't need you filming me. You want to talk like a gentleman? You want to try and work something out? We'll do it. You want to be an asshole? Then that's up to you. Let me let you know a little secret. That floor is going to be totally evicted. Okay? I'm giving you an opportunity to stay in the building. You might not believe this. This is not going to go well. There's an eviction process that's starting right now. Because of all the shit that building department and HPD, think about it. HPD and building department 100% declared all these apartments illegal, okay, because of all the divisions. The only reason that these 3 rooms are legal now is because of these doorways.
So you filed the papers and this is legal
Yeah,
now?
and I am not going to do that downstairs because Ilsa doesn't want to cooperate. You guys don't understand this. I never wanted you guys to get out. You guys paid the fucking rent.
Why did you say that you wanted us to get out?
Because you guys wouldn't listen to me. Ilsa didn't want to give me the room back and you didn't want to clean up. Do you realize what an incredible fire hazard you were down there? Can you fathom that? Can you fathom what an incredible fire hazard? God forbid there was a fire, that thing would go up and take the whole building in a heartbeat. Okay? All I want to do is to clean up, get all that shit out of there, and her to give me one of the rooms back because there's no reason that she's supposed to have 2 rooms. That's it.
Actually, there's no reason she can't.
Again, you want to do this?
That's between you and her. That's between you and her. I'm not going to get into the middle of it. But in other words, the vacate order says that you fix that room and I move back in when it's ready. So now you're offering a smaller room at the same rent with a smaller kitchen?
Are you considering the fact why the vacate order was given?
Yes, because it was an illegal SRO, nobody filed the papers, and because there's lack of egress and no sprinklers.
And HPP and the building department wants the apartments back to the original state. What's the original state? 1 apartment. That's the original state. And since since this one, and you guys weren't cooperating, and again, you gotta remember this. You guys did this. I didn't do this. I have never picked up the phone to call HPD. I have never called up the phone to call building department. Ever.
Well, no, but you have tried to raise our rent illegally. You have not replaced a door that should be there. You know, what are we supposed to do when a door goes missing?
Listen. For all intents and purposes, whether you want to believe it or not, but think about it in a common sense thing. If these were actually SROs, legal SROs, that door should not be there because these are the common areas that all the tenants have to go into.
So, however, a door is a fire break. And without a self-closing fireproof door, then a fire could go right through into the kitchen. So you don't have to put a lock on it, but you do need to have a door there.
Not if
A
it's
self-closing door.
Not if it's common areas of an SRO for the kitchen and that, okay?
Okay, you take that up with HPD.
There's nothing to take out. Listen.
So, all right, then let's take up this. $600 for a smaller room and a smaller kitchen on a higher floor?
Take this into consideration. Mm-hmm. The cases for DHCR are being reopened. Mm-hmm. Okay? Once that gets thrown out, the SRO situation is gone. And right after that, you all get eviction notices downstairs. okay? And then you totally fuck because there is no HPD, there is no rent regulation, there's nothing at all. Because as HPD and the building department said, this has to go back to the original state. One apartment.
Now, why are you afraid to say that on camera?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like being filmed.
So
Okay.
can you put that down on paper?
No.
So why are you afraid to put
telling
it
you
down on
this.
paper?
Listen, I'm telling you this as a piece of advice, Zurich. Because otherwise, when they finish the eviction, you're going to be out in the fucking street or wherever else you're going to go. That's why I'm telling you this. Don't you understand?
So
this?
because you
I'm trying
rented
to fucking
something
help
to me
you?
that was illegal,
Oh.
I get evicted?
Okay, no, you get evicted because you fucking call the HPD and the building department. That's why you get evicted.
So you're evicting me for being concerned about the violations in the house?
Zurich, we can go around this thing in circles.
Sure, so you're saying $600 for a smaller room and a smaller kitchen with smaller windows and less of a view. Is that what I'm getting?
If you want, this one's 1,000, that one's 800, okay? And the other one's gonna go for 1,000.
I'll tell you what, let me go down and write down what your offer is so that I can consider it. Let me just take a look at what you've done with this here, because I haven't been up here in a while. Okay, you got the same inexpensive floors. Where's the, oh yeah, the fire pit, the fire escape and egress is in the other room. See what you've done with that in here. You got, pretty much nothing, okay. All right. 545, there it is. Hey, cats and kids, Captain Zorik here, and I hope you're not coughing like that in this cold weather. I got a bit of a cough from, what do you call it? Annoying colic. From sitting in a lawyer's office for a couple, 3-4 hours a couple nights ago. And, but we got a lot of good information, and we've been following up on that. Now, this background may look familiar from that news article I did from the day that I got this. And no, they haven't caught the guy, and no, I haven't used any of the home remedies to make it go away yet. Hey, Anthony Jones, how are you? Looks pretty realistic, huh? Actually, it is the real thing. Sorry, I can't show off my makeup skills for you. Anyway, cap. Okay, I'm indoors. I'm not wearing a cap at the moment. Besides which, I think my hair is doing pretty good for me today at the moment. So, there it is. So, a lot happened. Let me break it down for you. This morning, as those of you who watched this morning, hey, John, here's what you missed by not watching this morning, John. We went to court for this illegal lockout petition that we had filed, me and Peachy, the old guy who was living next to me. And now, someone had told me that what I want to get is an order to restore possession, and you know what? Just realized that this illegal lockout is exactly that. It says order to show cause in lieu of notice of position to restore possession. So, actually a lawyer for the respondent appeared, and they were late, and the judge had taken a good long time doing all this paperwork, so it was like after 10 o'clock when court was supposed to open at 9:30 before he was ready to start petitions, and we were the first. So we walk in, we sit down, and just at that moment, she walks in, she sits down, and she's like, "You're late." It's like, "Yeah, I tried to get it." She had an excuse. It's like, "Yeah, it's only been 7 minutes," but we decided to go on with the proceeding. And in the course of the proceeding, I was able to say what I had to say about the space and ask my question about the stuff in my room. And state what I feel about my stuff in the room. And what I feel about my stuff in the room is so long as my stuff's in the room, he's not going to be able to rent it out to someone else. But it's also in danger because the 30 days that HPD said I had expires on Sunday, and he said he'd wait till Monday. Well, it turns out one thing I didn't notice, always read your pink slips, folks. Read every word on those sheets that you sign when you go to court to make a petition. Hey there, how's it going, Luis?
How
All right. One of the I'll be getting all this stuff out in a few minutes.
No problem.
Okay. One of the residents here who was not vacated has just come in. Anyway, what it says down here in these three little boxes here. Pending the hearing of this proceeding and the entry of a judgment thereon, respondents and respondents' attorneys or agents is/are: 1. Stayed from reletting the subject premises. 2. Stayed from moving any of the contents of the premises. 3. Ordered to permit petitioner access for the limited purpose of obtaining petitioner's possessions. So, I don't know if Antonio saw this when he made the offer of allowing me to move into a room upstairs. The room formerly occupied by Dr. Bronco von Johnstein, my musical partner in crime. He got out because he wanted to get out. I'm just going to say that about him. He's a good guy. We're going to continue working together. He's the guy who plays the washtub bass with me. But his room happened to be one of the rooms that was under the repair and vacate order, which means a big old sticker was put on the door and all the appropriate signage saying this room has been vacated and until it is brought into code. Well, you know how Antonio is refusing to replace that door, saying that an SRO doesn't need a door there. Well, HPD, the building department, everybody else is of a different opinion that that door needs to have a self-closing, fireproof door, right? And, well, while he's not putting that door in, he put 2 doors into John's old room, 3B. One door goes into 3A, and 3A goes to the fire escape. The other door goes into 3D. So, technically, if there's a fire, those 2 doors can be opened, at least one way. At least there's apparently a lock on only one side. Now, he didn't get any permits for this, but it's possible that you don't need a permit to put a door in a non-supporting wall. If anybody out there can check me on that, I know I got a bunch of friends who are in the construction industry or in one way or another. Do you need a permit, a work permit, to put a door in a non-structural door? And do you need licensed contractors to do it, or can you just get the Mexicans hanging out in front of the church down the street? So, feel free to put that in the comments. If you want, because that'd be interesting to know. Because they did that, and the work wound up being going after hours, and somebody called to complain about that, and it's on file at the appropriate authorities. 311. That's what they do for you. But I got to see the room, and I got video of that room. And I may post it up somewhere or just save it for court or whatever. And the video includes me asking what the rent is. And Antonio tells me that the rent is $600. $600 for a room that is smaller, that has fewer windows, that has less light, that is 1 flight higher up, that has access to a smaller kitchen. There is absolutely nothing about that room that is equal to or an improvement of my room, the rights towards which I have signed papers to show that I have not waived. Remember, it's a repair and vacate order. You vacate to get out of the way of the repairs that are going to amend the condition that make it not safe according to the appropriate authorities. Well, Antonio said that he would talk to me if I shut off the camera. He didn't want to do it on camera. He didn't want to write it down, but he wanted to talk to me like a man. So, I shut off the camera. So I shut off the camera, and here's what Antonio said to me. He said to me, probably he thought this was in confidence, he sure said it with a lot of confidence, that I was being evicted. Me and Boogie are being evicted. That the entire second floor is going to be cleaned out because there is no thing structural you can do to bring it up to code. But but if you turn the whole floor into one apartment, like it used to be, like it originally was, like it was the last time it was filed, then you don't need a fire escape and you don't need a sprinkler system in that room because it's all one apartment. Now, can you put a fire escape on the outside of this building? Can you put a sprinkler system there? The studies must be done. The proof must be offered. And there is nothing about a repair and vacate order that equals evict. So he's offering me, for the same rent I'm paying now, a less desirable room so that I can stay in the building. And in fact, his lawyer, or I should say his landlord's lawyers in, in consult, in whatever, the person who came on behalf of the lawyer said to call the lawyer, Ron Hariri, first. So I did. And Ron said, great. If you come to a deal, let me know. We'll write everything down and we can cancel the court appearance and everything else. Like I'm going to cancel a court appearance. Like I'm going to cancel a court appearance so that I can spend the same amount of money on a less desirable room while Antonio Cook is the building manager. I'm going to say no to that. And Antonio said, well, that room's going for $1,000 and that room is going for $1,000 and you're going to get the same rent because otherwise you're going to get evicted, buddy. And, I never wanted to throw you out. It was like, what do you mean? Of course you did. You said you did. That was only because you had too much stuff in your room. Maybe I had too much stuff in my room, but, now I don't. All right. And what about the door? I ask him. You don't need a door. Sure you do. You need a self-closing door. Not if it's an SRO. So it's, and some of you may disagree with the characterization I'm going to put on it here, but this is sort of like what fascist dictators in Germany in the 1930s and current presidents of the United States do. They either lie or they bullshit. So, I called up Mr. Hariri, and I let him know what happened. Well, I left a message, and he didn't respond, and then Antonio came back again. He had said, I'm going to leave that door open to 5:45. Then at 5:45, somebody's going to come and lock it. And at 5:45, they didn't come. At 6, they didn't come. Anybody know what time it is? Well, in any event, Antonio came, as did his man Alejandro, as did his insurance man and my downstairs neighbor, Dennis. And so I showed them this. I showed this to Dennis, and then Antonio, after locking the door and noticing that let me just see something here. The notices that had fallen off the door had been kicked under the door into my room. So I put them out of the room, and yeah, he stuck them back on the door, or he stuck them in the door anyway. So anywho, so the notices are back on the door, or stuck in the door, and I read this to him, and I said, so for those of you just coming in, hey Walter, Daisy, Bob, Maria, who else is out there? Colin, Jason, Anna, Christopher, Daniel, Kat, Nikirian, Jim, Anthony again. Okay, so, and John Goodwin, loving the shades. So, those of you who came in late, this here piece of paper is the paper that I didn't realize I already had, but the judge pointed it out to me, and kudos to that judge, because he's one of the few people in my life, and the only person who works for a state or city or anything like that, who has gotten my name right on the first try, Lakidra. So impressed. Also with his hair. But anyway, when he signed the warning to respondent, this here summons, when we went to court on Monday, or was it Friday? I think it was Friday. Was it Monday? I forget. These days blur together. It was Friday. It says here, pending hearing of this proceeding and the entry of a judgment thereon, respondents and respondents' attorneys or agents is/are 1. Stayed from reletting the subject premises. Because I know he's already trying to relet the premises because he's reletting 2 of the vacated rooms to me and to another person who's been vacated, or he's trying to anyway. And 2, stayed from removing any of the contents of these premises. And 3, ordered to permit petitioner access for the limited purpose of obtaining petitioner's possessions. And about that, so the doomsday of December 23rd for getting my stuff out is waived. Now, why do I care? I'll be honest with you. There is some stuff that'd be nice to have, that when I move back into the place will be nice to still be there. There's that conference room table from Emery Roth & Sons back when I worked for my godfather's architectural firm, my computer desk, my drawing table, the shelves, the dressers, a really nice cabinet unit. These things would have been nice to have when I come back, but so long as they're there, no one's going to rent that room. Not in the state it's in. I haven't even gotten a chance to throw out the trash. I mean, who does when you're moving out, right? But he says, I don't care about the 23rd because I'm going on vacation. But when I come back, the stuff better be out. Otherwise, I'm throwing it in the garbage. And I showed him this piece of paper, and I said, you can't. And he gave me that little smirky wink face. And he said, yes, I can. On his way down the stairs. So I got right on the phone. I called his lawyer, Ron Hariri, of Hariri and something or other. A little dust in my throat there. And I apologized for calling him at such a late hour. He answered the phone directly. And I read to him what it says. And he said, I can't talk now. I'm having dinner with my family, or I'm at dinner. But I'll talk to my client. So, this now is out there on the interwebs. It's on Facebook. It will last as long as Zuckerberg wants it to. So, all you folks are witnesses for saying this, for seeing this. And hi, James. Hi, Jerry. So, my stuff cannot be removed, does not have to be removed from my room. It's still my room. Even though I'm not allowed to live there because of the repair and vacate order, until the judge says so. And unless I go to that judge and say I want it, it's unlikely that he's going to say so until after the adjourned court date, which is on, February 14th, with a continuation already scheduled for February 18th. And that's going to be a case heard concurrently with 3 other people who are affected by the conditions in this room, by the conditions in this building, by the harassment of Antonio Cook, and 3 of the 4 are affected by the vacate order. So, that's the situation. Now, I'm just going to wait for my neighbor Boogie to come home. We're going to postmortem the day. We're going to plan out how we're going to continue. And I'm going to put this stuff in my storage space before it closes at 7, I hope. Otherwise, I guess I'll have to put it in the Manhattan. I may put it in the Manhattan. Yeah, I'm putting this in the Manhattan storage space. I'm just doing that, okay? So there it is. So, thank you, everybody. He so much as touches a safety pin. He's wrong for touching it. Happy Valentine's President's Day week 2020. Thank you, Daisy. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Jerry. That's the sitch. Thank you all for watching here. Like I said, just a couple of questions I might want to know. If you've ever had to fix up a room... Okay, I'm back. This is interesting. What's his name? Jamie, who is the superintendent here, walked down the hallway carrying something. And he has a tendency of taking pictures of things and transmitting them to Antonio, and then Antonio sending them to me, and undergoing harassment techniques like calling the cops and stuff. Not cops, fire department and stuff. So it could be very interesting if he does that right now. And it would be very interesting if that phone came through. It just said 3008, why would a 4-digit number be showing as a phone call? Okay, so answer me this in the comments section. Why would a 4-digit number be what caller ID recognizes for a phone call? Do you need a work permit to put a door in a non-structural wall? And how long does it usually take to file the appropriate papers to get a room that has a repair and vacate order on it to be fixed up so that it can be rented out to someone else? All right, so thank you very much, everybody. Captain Zorik coming at you.